Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. This is a bit of a weird time, generally, for everyone worldwide. It's the first time I've ever seen something that everyone's affected by. If you are famous, if you are royalty, it doesn't matter. We're all affected. We're all in the same situation. And that's kind of crazy when you think about it. So many new words, so many new phrases I've never heard before. Self-isolation. Pretty sure only electricians said that before now. And in the last 3 weeks, that's all I hear. I'm self-isolating. I'm doing some self-isolation over here. Good for you. Social distancing. What is so... I'm going to do more social distancing when this is all finished because it's great. It's peaceful. There's a whole load of stuff that has changed, and it's so easy to concentrate on the whole COVID-19 thing and the negative side about that because it's being force-fed into us every single day, and there's a lot of shit going on around it, and I'm not here to discuss that at all, but it has affected me in a whole bunch of different ways, and it's affected different elements of my life. I don't know what you're like where you are, but here in Northern Ireland we are in lockdown. The whole of the UK lockdown. You can't leave unless you go into the pharmacy, to the doctors, for groceries, to work if it's very, very necessary. The rest of us, don't leave your house. But when you think about what the NHS, what the emergency services have to go through, frontline people, being asked to stay at home, that's not really such a big ask, so why don't we just all can do it, all right? But loads of stuff has been affected for me. Work, family, like freedom, food, environment, money. Some positive, some negative. Take money, for example. I'm spending so much less money than I ever did. In the last 3 weeks, we've apart from the things we need, we haven't been out, we haven't bought stuff, we haven't spent it, but it's also affected money in that I haven't made as much money. Making money going forward is going to be kind of tricky. So it's affecting it negative and positive. Food's not as accessible. There's definitely more thought going into what you order, when you get it. We're also eating a lot more food, a lot more stuff that normally you would I don't know, discard or waste. So yeah, we're doing it all. We're toasting the heels of our bread. Maybe you're into that already, but currently I'm not a heel eater. Work-wise, it's been a bit tricky because I've had a lot of shoots and jobs cancelled. I have a lot of edits that I'm still working on, which is good and it's keeping me busy. But I've had a lot of shoots. Like April was supposed to be a big travel month for me. I was supposed to be traveling to Canada to see a bunch of friends in Toronto and go hang out in Vancouver with my brother. I was supposed to be traveling around Ireland on a video shoot for 2 weeks. None of that shit's happening because I'm here in my house. So there's big changes with that. And it was like, oh shit, when it all started happening, I was like, I will be okay. We'll still make these flights to Toronto. Not going to happen. Donna, sorry, buddy. We'll have to postpone that whole trip for later in the year. And as far as the physical workspace thing goes, if you follow my stuff for a while, you know I have this pretty dope studio set up in Belfast that I've been in for about a year and a half, and I've changed it around a lot. I kind of got to a place where I was really happy with it, but to be honest with you, given what's going on and the uncertainties of work coming in or money, and I just decided I'm just going to have to give that up for the time being. This is my studio in Belfast. This is where I worked from. This is my base. And today, 8:30 p.m, Monday the 23rd of March, 2020, the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, came on and addressed the country regarding coronavirus, and has basically put a lockdown in place across the UK, starting at midnight tonight. Only essential travel is feasible. Everybody else, you're not allowed to leave the house. Now, I don't know how long that's going to go on for. I can't afford to pay for a studio that I'm not going to use. And if it's a month, fine. I could do it with a month. If it's 2, 3, 4, 5 months, it's really surreal. I've kind of come in here and I'm just packing stuff up. I've just got the lights and everything packed up from there, and they're inside this box. I've got a couple of these boxes for all my electronic stuff, important shit. I'm going to take my studio lights with me. You know, I've been coffee stuff here that's got to go. And then the actual office part of it, which, it took me ages to get this to a point. I was happy with it. And it's like, fuck, man. Luckily, I cleared a bit of this stuff out, camera gear. So there's not loads of bits, but there's still things I need to do. I don't think I'm going to come back to it. And that's kind of a bit of a, it's just kind of sad. Let's come down to this. 90% of what is in my studio is in this van. But everything is in here except the kitchen sink. Factual, my sink system just couldn't fit. There's a few like non-essential bits and pieces, papers, couple of drawers, things like that. So I'll come and get those when I can. But this is literally everything. Look at the plant next to my computer. That's how we're traveling. The coffee machine, all the important shit up the front, folks. Initially, what I'd done is brought this very 1950s, 60s, I don't know, this really old, dated futon sofa thing in here from a friend, because sometimes I have mates staying over when they're traveling, and it's quite nice to give them a bed option to sleep on. It's now completely in the way, and I need to work out how do I get everything here to create a new desk setup, because this is what I'm dealing with. This bullshit. This crap. I'm not sure what this is yet, and this needs to sort of still move. But it's slowly coming together in amongst a ton of other stuff. See, there's still things that need done. I still have work to do for clients. I still have to record the daily podcast I still have to do things around the house, and I still want to spend time with my wife and kids. So there's a lot going on, but we've got time. If there's one thing we've got, it's time. I had a chat with the landlord about it to try and work out some sort of way, but yeah, he's got shit that he needs to pay for as well. There's a whole lot of understanding back and forth on both sides of it. I just decided, it was more important to have this money at home rather than paying for 3 months, 4 months rent when I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that space. There's the rent, there's the electric, there's the heating, there's the Wi-Fi, all that shit. That's money that can pay for my mortgage at home. So I packed all my shit in a van and brought it home, and that's what we're doing in here. This is my office at home. I'm going to use my garage that I'm pretty lucky to have, and I'm going to separate a section of it and turn it into a photo studio so I can still shoot product stuff for people, because I still shoot a lot of that stuff. And for the physical studio space, I was always thinking like I need to convert the whole garage, to get it all together, but I'm just going to do it just for taking photos for the time being to get us through, the next half a year. But it's also affected my mentality of how I deal with that. I'm having to be a lot more adaptive. I'm having to change the process and how I do something. I'm having to find solutions for my clients. And while a lot of people I found just be like, what do we do now? It's like, well, you have to change. You have to adapt. You have to change how you work. What do you do? Because your clients still have problems that they need addressed. You just have to solve them differently now. So that's definitely a challenge that's being put out there to all of us, especially freelancers. And it's stressful as hell. Take it on the chin, because that's all you can do in this situation. Freedom for me, I'm a busybody. I'm a fidget ass, as my wife would say. I go out and do a lot of stuff. I'm always on the go, and now those options are limited. And it's been kind of mad, but it's also been really nice to be able to stay at home. And it's guilt-free if you think about it. No one's expecting you to leave. No one's expecting you to get up and do things. No one's expecting you to put pants on, to be brutally honest. I've been wearing the same t-shirt for 3 days. Does it matter? Not really. I mean, maybe my wife would disagree. I've never longed to go to the ocean so much. I just want to get out for a surf as soon as this happens. The one wheel's been keeping me sane. It's become my mode of transport. I haven't driven in 2 weeks, and it's been so good. I like driving. I love driving when I want to go for a drive, but driving for functional reasons to go and get shit irritates me. And it's been so nice not having to drive. And I've just been like, well, if I need to go to the shop, I'll just one wheel it. Well, whatever I get in my backpack, that comes with me. Going to the doctors, going to the pharmacy, all that sort of stuff. Just been one wheeling and go and do it. This is essential, by the way. Going on a one wheel, fresh air, better than the car. Went to the GP to collect a prescription for Pamela, and then going to the pharmacy to collect the meds. Generally, it's kind of frustrating that people ignored the rules early on, resulting in those of us with common sense having to all be trapped indoors now for literally eternity. I also completely support the government in their decision. I think it's the right thing to do. I think people need drastic actions, drastic measures, so that they take drastic action. Because I also completely support the government in their decision. I think it's the right thing to do. I think people need drastic actions, drastic measures, so that they take drastic action, because otherwise people just ignore it all. It's this mad situation at the pharmacies. You can't go in, so you just have to stand outside, and everyone stands 2 meters apart, 3, 4, 5 meters apart, and you wait. They come and collect your prescription, take it in. I mean, it's the same process as before. You're just outside instead of inside. It's not that different, actually. Just more air. Except it's kind of intimidating when the pharmacist comes to the door in a mask and gloves, and they're like, prescription. And you're like, holy shit, should I? I feel underdressed. Should I have worn a mask and gloves? Lady at the pharmacy was like, this is so weird. I keep coming out to deliver people their meds, and I have a mask on and I don't look like I'm smiling. I said to her quite loudly, yeah, I know, you just look super miserable to everyone. She was like, oh, thanks. Yeah, no worries. It's been showering my hair, it's been getting me outside, getting a bit of fresh air, and I'm classing it as exercise. You might disagree, but it gives you a good core workout and works on your glutes and your legs, right? That's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. Yeah, movement and freedom is definitely probably one of the things I'm struggling with the most. But the main thing I've taken from this is the importance of things like family. While a lot of people might be struggling with the isolation thing, my wife and I kind of quite like it. It's, you know, we like spending time together at home with our kids. So we're just spending a lot more of that at home with the kids. And it's definitely challenging. Let's not get that wrong, because my kids can be a pain in the ass at times, but they're actually incredible and they entertain the hell out of us. And while having kids has made this whole situation way more stressful, them being there also makes everything so much easier to deal with and so much happier, because they just have this naivety to them that they're just like, whatever, dude, let's build some Lego. And I'm like, result. Let's do exactly that. It has its ups and downs, but being at home with them a lot more, even though I'm still doing a lot of work on stuff, being able to spend more time, be around them a lot more is showing me the importance of all of that. Outside of that, I've been creating a lot more of my own stuff and working on my own ideas a lot more. I'm really excited to see what I can start to do on my YouTube channel to start exploring the ideas that are in my brain. Because I have all these things written down and I'm always like, I have no time to do anything. And now it's like, still, you got loads of time. You just limited to where you can do it. Outside of that, I started a daily podcast with my friend Ryan. Doesn't help, but I have a 4-inch metal plate in my left arm. I broke it skateboarding. So
how are you not in the top tier for danger and coronavirus?
I don't know.
There's everything. You're old.
Yeah.
You got cold blood.
Yeah. Bleed out of
metal plate.
Bleed out of my liver spots.
Yeah.
And that's been really, really good. We're in the third week of it now. And we were like early adopters of daily content in this whole isolation quarantine period. We were just like, dude, let's just do this now. It's an idea we wanted to do for ages. Let's get it done. If you want to check that out, there's links below. It's called The Over and Out Show. It's a bit of chat about nonsense. It's a bit of chat about filmmaking and videography and photography and other shit like that. If you want to go check it out, it's pretty lighthearted, half an hour every day, 4 o'clock on IGTV, and a bunch of other things for you to go listen to. You know, for me as someone who enjoys creating content, and I have people that really like watching that content, for me it's like, that's what I can add at this moment in time. That's the role that I can play. And I've had this conversation with a load of people and explained this thought process, and a few of those people have been like, wow, didn't look at it like that. I've always kind of had a lighter side of approach to things, because if shit happens and it's out of your control, there's no point in just dwelling on it and just worrying about it unless you're getting something done to fix it. So I've always just been like, right, that's the give. This situation is a given. How do we deal with it? And I read this quote years ago that it was like, it's not what happens to you that matters. It's what you do with that counts. I've always thought that's great. You know, like shit happens to people, but it's when you stop, take a deep breath and go, right, how am I going to deal with this situation? Because there's a ton of different ways we could go. And I'm just trying to do it the best way that I know how, and a way that keeps me sane, keeps me entertained, and allows me to do stuff that I feel is productive, so that at the end of this entire situation, whenever the hell that is, I'm in a mental state and my family's in a mental state that we can continue to progress as people and as a family and as a business and whatever that is. So if it's done one thing, it's definitely made me appreciate small things a lot more. Just before we went into complete lockdown, we were able to get out to the beach for a day, just for a walkabout and throw some stones and things like that. And like at that time, we thought, oh, we'll just do a lot more of this. And now we can't even do that. But it was so nice just being outside. I've started to notice a lot how clean the air has felt, how loud the birds have been, and you know, just those simple things in life that are just sort of beautiful. That we often just ignore in the chaos of everyday nonsense. So that's been really quite nice and quite liberating. And
Can I throw that?
I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm just gonna make the most of the opportunity and enjoy the time with my family.
Bang.
Whoa.
First go, guys. Because I'm a dad, and dads can do anything. Yeah, they're the best as well, yeah.
If you want to check out the podcast, the over and outro, the links to all this shit is below, and hopefully it keeps you entertained. What are you doing to deal with this situation? You keeping yourself sane? Drop some comments below and let's have a chat about it, or don't, whatever. Just go and enjoy yourselves. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe if you aren't already. So yeah, look after yourself. Don't leave your house unless it's necessary, and just take a breath. Let's all breathe together. It's not what happens to you that matters. It's what you do with it that counts. Remember those wise words. They're not for me. I ain't that wise. But those words make a lot of sense.
Any colours, really.